Picture this. You've spent years mastering your medical skills, passed your exams, and you're ready to practice in the United States. But then, rejection after rejection. Your applications seem to disappear into a black hole, and you're not sure why. Sound familiar? If you're an international medical graduate looking for a position in the US, you're probably making at least one of these 5 career-killing mistakes that I'm about to reveal. And trust me, mistake number 4 has derailed more medical careers than you can imagine. Hi, I'm Dr. Ben. I'm a pediatric cardiologist and physician coach. I continue to work and have spent my career in academic medicine, leading training programs and caring for patients. And I founded the Developing Doctors to help others achieve their dream of becoming a doctor and thrive in the process. I coach students and physicians of all levels so that they can thrive as physicians and realize the careers they've always dreamed of. Today, I'm talking to a group commonly overlooked in the coaching space. International graduates navigate an incredibly complex pathway to practice medicine in the United States. My colleagues who are international grads are some of the brightest, hardest working, dedicated physicians I work with. Over the years, I've seen brilliant doctors from around the world struggle to match, not because they lack medical knowledge, but because they fall into predictable traps during the process of applying for residency positions, visas, and jobs in the US, which cost them thousands of dollars, countless hours, and millions of missed opportunities. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to avoid and how to position yourself for success. But first, let me ask you a question. What challenges have you faced as an international graduate while applying for positions in the US? Let me know in the comments below so that I can continue to create content that is meaningful for you and help solve some of those troubles. With that, let's dive into the 5 common mistakes that IMGs make. Mistake number 1 is treating credential verification like a simple paperwork exercise. Credentialing and licensing takes months for US trained physicians, and they have medical school and residency programs that support them throughout the process. They're already part of the system. Many IMGs need to navigate the maze on their own, and most don't realize the credential verification process isn't just about having the right documents, it's about presenting them in the right way, at the right time, through the right channels. Think of it like this. Imagine if you were a detective trying to verify someone's identity, but half the evidence was in a language you couldn't read. It arrived out of order and came from sources you've never heard of, so couldn't reach out to ask questions. Now imagine that happening hundreds of times a day. That's exactly what credential verification bodies face every day. The most successful international graduates understand that this process requires strategic planning and patience. They know which documents need official translation, which require authentication, and how to ensure that every piece of paperwork tells a cohesive story about their medical education and training. But here's where it gets really tricky. And this is something that trips up even experienced graduates. The verification process isn't standardized across all pathways, and what works in one state or through one application pathway might create delays or complications in the other, so you really need to do your research. That's why understanding the specific requirements for your chosen pathway and your state is absolutely critical. Mistake number 2 is approaching residency applications like a simple numbers game instead of a strategic campaign. I see this all the time. International graduates who think that applying to more programs increases their chances of success. This couldn't be further from the truth. Successful residency matching isn't about quantity, it's about alignment and strategy. Every application you submit should be purposeful and targeted. Think of it like dating. Would you rather go on 100 random dates or carefully choose potential partners who you share values and goals with? The most effective application approach involves understanding the landscape of residency programs, identifying those that have a history of welcoming international graduates, and then crafting applications that speak directly to those programs that are a good fit. That means researching not just the program requirements, but the program culture, their recent research focus, and even the backgrounds of their current residents. Here's something that might surprise you. Some of the most competitive applicants I've worked with have actually applied to fewer programs, not more. But every single application was laser focused and strategically crafted. They understood that a well-targeted application to the right program is worth 10 generic applications to random ones. Mistake number 3, and this one is absolutely crucial, is underestimating the cultural and communication aspects of an interview. Most international graduates focus intensely on medical knowledge, which makes sense, but they overlook the subtle communication patterns that can make or break an interview, or even a personal statement. Here's what I mean. Medical interviews in the United States aren't just about demonstrating clinical competence. They're about showing cultural fit for the program, communication skills, and the ability to work effectively within American healthcare teams. This goes beyond just speaking English fluently. It's about understanding conversational rhythms, nonverbal communication, and even the unspoken expectations about confidence and collaboration. Just picture this scenario. You walk into an interview room perfectly prepared to discuss complex medical cases, but you struggle with the informal small talk at the beginning, or you misread social cues during group discussions. These seemingly minor issues can create doubt about your ability to integrate smoothly into the program. The most successful interview candidates I've observed don't just practice medical scenarios, they practice cultural navigation. They understand how to balance confidence with humility, how to showcase their international perspective as an asset, and how to demonstrate that they can be both excellent doctors and effective team members in an American medical environment. It's also important to understand that each residency program, medical specialty, and healthcare system has its own subculture. Some programs and systems are quite formal and have a rigid dress code, where others are really informal and everyone calls each other by their first name. Take cues about each program's culture by reviewing the website and social media accounts and trying to speak with current members of the program. All right, on to mistake number 4, the one I mentioned at the beginning that has derailed more medical careers than almost anything else. Fundamental misconceptions about visa requirements and immigration pathways. Here's the harsh reality. You can have perfect credentials, ace every interview, and match into your dream residency program. But if you apply to a program that can't support your application, none of that matters. Yet this is where I see so many dangerous assumptions and oversimplifications. Many international graduates operate under the belief that securing a residency position automatically solves the visa question, that the residency program will do all the legwork for them, and that all the visa types offer the same opportunities and limitations. This is absolutely wrong and actually can change from year to year. Different visa categories come with different restrictions, different timelines, and different long-term implications for your medical career. For example, some visa types might allow you to complete residency, but create complications for staying for fellowship training or staying on as an attending. Others might offer more flexibility, but require earlier planning and different documentation. Understanding these nuances isn't just important, it's absolutely critical for making informed decisions about your entire career. The most successful international graduates treat visa planning as an integral part of their overall strategy. They take ownership of the process rather than relying on the medical program or healthcare system or employer to do it for you. They understand that immigration law intersects with medical licensing in complex ways that require careful navigation and continually informing yourself. Finally, mistake number 5 is tunnel vision, focusing so intently on one pathway that you miss equally valuable alternatives that might actually be better suited for your goals and circumstances. The traditional residency match isn't the only route to practicing medicine in the United States, but many international graduates become so focused on this pathway that they overlook other opportunities that could lead to fulfilling medical careers. This tunnel vision can cost precious time and limit your options unnecessarily. Alternative pathways might include applying to fellowship positions first for those who have extensive subspecialty experience, research positions that can strengthen your profile for future applications, or clinical opportunities that provide valuable U.S. healthcare experience, or specialized programs designed specifically for international graduates that allow them to jump into practice in high-need areas. Some of these alternatives not only offer immediate opportunities, but can actually enhance your competitiveness for the traditional pathways later. The key is understanding that your career journey doesn't have to follow a single, rigid timeline. Flexibility and openness to different approaches can actually accelerate your progress rather than delay it. The most successful international graduate applicants I've worked with often discovered that their alternative pathway becomes their preferred pathway, leading to opportunities they never initially considered. So there you have it, the 5 mistakes that can derail an international graduate's journey to practicing medicine in the United States. Here's the good news in all of this. Every single one of these mistakes is completely avoidable when you have the right guidance and strategy. If you're feeling overwhelmed by everything we've covered today, don't worry, that's completely normal. It is a lot. The pathway to US medical practice is complex, but it's absolutely achievable when you approach it with the right knowledge and preparation. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and share it with others. And if you would like support during the application process, reach out. Use a link in the bio to book a free coaching consult. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.